Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this very simple medium-sized crochet pom-pom. And I'm going to be using some size 4 medium weight yarn and a size G or 6 or 4 1/4 millimeter crochet hook. You're also going to want to grab 2 jumbo cotton balls and a stitch marker. And we're going to begin with a magic circle, so take your tail and drape it over your working yarn and pinch that intersection. Insert your crochet hook and then yarn over and pull through your loop. And we're going to separate our loop out like this. From here we're going to chain 1 and then place 8 single crochets inside of our magic circle. And it's important to work in the loop as well as over the little tail. And once you have your 8 single crochets in place, go ahead and pull on your tail to tighten the gap in your magic circle. And you won't need to work over your tail, you can use this as stuffing. From here, we want to skip our tiny little chain 1 and dive right into our first single crochet with 2 single crochets. Then we want to go back and mark that first single crochet. And from here, we're just going to place 2 single crochets in each stitch in our row for a total of 16 single crochets. And at the end of your row, you can remove your stitch marker. From here, we're going to place 1 single crochet in our first stitch, and then 2 single crochets in our second stitch. And we want to go back and mark our first stitch. And then we want to continue this alternating pattern going around our row for a total of 24 single crochets. And again, at the end of your row, you can remove your stitch marker. For our next 2 rows, we're just going to place 1 single crochet in each stitch in our row. And at the end of your 2 rows, your pom-pom should look something like this. So we can remove our stitch marker. And the pattern for our next row is to place 1 single crochet in our first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet together our next 2 stitches. So insert your crochet hook in your next stitch and yarn over and pull up through. You should have 2 loops on your crochet hook. Then insert your crochet hook in your next stitch and yarn over and pull up through. Then yarn over and drop all 3 loops. And don't forget to mark your first stitch. From here, we're just going to alternate between placing 1 single crochet and then single crocheting 2 stitches together for the rest of our row, and you should have a total of 16 single crochets when you're done. And at the end of your row, you can remove your stitch marker. I'm going to go ahead and stuff 1 of my cotton balls into my little pom-pom here before we start our next row. And the pattern for our next row is just to single crochet 2 stitches together going around the row. So you should have a total of 8 single crochets when you're done. And at the end of our row, we're going to remove our stitch marker. Then we want to cut a fairly long tail of about 8 inches. Then we're going to slide our crochet hook back up underneath this stitch and yarn over and pull all of our yarn through to tie it off. And I usually separate my cotton ball out and start to stuff it for the remainder of my pom-pom. And next we are going to weave our tail in and out of our last row of single crochets. And once you're done weaving your tail, give it a nice pull to close the gap in the top of your pom-pom. From here, we're going to tie off our cinch using the available loops near the top of the pom-pom. And you can roll the pom-pom in your hand like dough to give it a more rounded look if it needs it. From here, we're just going to attach our pom-pom to our beanie using our tail here. So what you're going to do is draw this tail through your beanie like this. And then you're simply going to tie these two tails together a few times to secure your pom-pom. Please let me know in the comments below if you ended up making this, and this pairs really well with my pigtail elf beanie, which I will link to in the description for you. Thank you so much for working with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.